Welcome to episode 177 of the Hurricane Mike Show. And we have just reached over 400 subscribers yesterday morning. So I just want to start the show off by saying thank you. I never thought I'd get to a point where I have 400 people hitting that little red button, but yeah, here we are. So, man, it's crazy. Crazy how far, it's 2 years with the making. So I just want to appreciate all y'all for that. And also, another thing let's be appreciated for, the Saints are currently, the record might suggest otherwise, but the Saints are a better football team than the Atlanta Falcons. Because why, Dad?
Because the Atlanta Falcons suck.
Oh, and also, didn't a few weeks ago, didn't the Jets beat Atlanta?
Probably.
Oh, no, it's not probably. No, they did do that. Hit that game-winning 57-yard field goal or whatever it was. And the team that beat Atlanta, we held to 2 field goals the entire game and beat them by 22 points. 23 points, whatever. Crazy. But anyways, let's get started. The game was played in the Caesars Superdome, probably the last game in the Caesars Superdome ever for a couple people. So, Dad, what is the main thing of the 29-6 beatdown of the Jets?
The main thing. I wish I would have gave this some thought, but the main thing, I think you just touched on it a little bit. The main thing could be the last game in the Caesars Superdome for a couple veteran football players, such as maybe a Taysom Hill, maybe a Demario Davis, but Demario looked like he could still play, so I don't know about that. But Cam Jordan just, moving up the ladder on, all-time sacks, so that's something to think about. Is some of these players, won't be doing it in the Caesars Superdome again.
Yeah, Connor says, "What's up, Joe? Man, what's good, Connor?" Yeah, I think the main thing is just like, if this was Taysom Hill's last game in the Dome, what a way to go out, man. It's like he started off the game super shaky with that fumble on the second play of the game, and then he's like, "I'm sorry, coach." And then Kellen Moore was like, "Don't be sorry. Prove that you're sorry." And he proved it, all right. And also another thing, the Saints, right? Well, Connor, it's not official if Taysom's retiring or not, but the signs are pointing to him possibly considering it. If you watch the post-game interview, which I might play later, I don't know, but in 2024, technically, it was at the end of the 2023 season, the Saints had a chance to run up the score against Atlanta, but Dennis Allen said, our head coach at the time, said, "Take a knee." And the Saints scored a touchdown, and Dennis Allen got into his feelings and apologized to Atlanta. Well, guess what? Yesterday, Kellen Moore, all he had to do was run the ball one time, get a first down, and end the game against the Jets. But he's like, no. Taysom Hill, this might be his last game in the Superdome. I want you to throw the deep touchdown to Chris Olave. And what did he do? He did that. And I don't know if anybody else felt this way, but when Kellen Moore was like this, after he scored a touchdown, that lifted my spirits. Because we have a player's coach. We have a coach that will probably take the clothes off of his back to help all of his players. We have a coach that is learning how to win. So the main thing is the future of this team, of this organization. But now let's go into the deep dive of things. First quarter, it was a tie ball game, 3-3. Second quarter, Saints won 6-3. In the first half, it was just big field goal kicking contest. But in the third quarter, Saints ramped up, winning 7-0. Fourth quarter, Saints won 13-0, pitching a second half shutout. A shutout the entire game out of the end zone. And Saints win 29-6 to improve to 5-10 on the season. And the Jets are now 3-12. And the scoring summary, after Taysom Hill's fumble, Nick Folk hit a 29-yard field goal. with 10:38 to go in the first quarter for the Jets to go up 3-0, which would be the only lead the Jets had the entire game. As then with 6:31, the Irish kid, Charlie Smythe, hit a 35-yard field goal to make it 3-3. 14:18 left in the second quarter. Charlie Smythe hit another field goal, this one from 49 yards. Saints went up 6-3. And then with 12:38 in the second quarter, Nick Folk hit a 36-yard field goal to tie it 6-6. Then with 1:31 left in the half, Charlie Smythe hit a 36-yard field goal up 9-6. And he had the leg to hit a 61-yarder, but it just curved to the left. Man, if he would have made that 61-yarder, he would have had the record for the most field goals made in a single game in Saints history. He tied the record, but if he would have made that 61-yarder, whew, the Irish people would have been feeling themselves. Man. But yeah. 41 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tyler Shuck hit Chris Olave for a 23-yard touchdown, followed by Charlie Smythe's extra point. Saints went up 16-6. With 11:09 to go in the fourth quarter, Charlie Smythe would hit a 50-yard field goal to go up 19-6. And then with 5:17 to go in the fourth quarter, Charlie Smythe hit another 39-yard field goal to go up 22-6. And then with 1:54 to go in the game, like I mentioned earlier, Taysom Hill would throw a 38-yard touchdown pass to Chris Olave, followed by Charlie Smythe's extra point to make it 29-6. All right. Now let's get on to the Saints, man. Tyler Shuck, 32 for 49, 308 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked 3 times and had an 89.5 quarterback rating. And Taysom Hill was 1 for 1 for 38 yards, 1 touchdown. His quarterback rating was 158.3. How do you feel with the combination of Tyler Shuck's 49 passes and Taysom Hill's pass, which made it 50 total passes by the Saints? How do you feel about the passing game did yesterday?
I think the passing game was on point. Passing game getting better. And it's all about the young quarterback developing. And, this may be a hot take, but I don't know if he's played long enough, but Tyler Shuck may be getting in the conversation of Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah. Connor said, you were in my comments. I was, but I don't know how to respond to the comments because you're saying, my name is Open, I'm Was, Caesar Zudome, I'm Tony the Tiger. And now you just said, baby, I think I could have done it. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah. Hold on. Let's pull up. Hold on. Let's see the Offensive Rookie of the Year odds right now.
Who's in the running?
I know Taylor. So actually, this is very interesting. Hold up. This is very interesting. Currently, the number 1 odds to win Offensive Rookie of the Year is currently Teteroa McMillan.
Okay.
But right behind him is Tyler Shuck. Teteroa McMillan plays the Seahawks this week. So let's just say McMillan goes out there and bombs the game and only has 2 catches or something, right? Tyler Shuck plays the Titans. So, if Teteroa McMillan goes out there and does not have that good of a game against Seattle, which is very likely, because Seattle's one of the best teams in the freaking league, and if Tyler Shuck goes out there and balls out against the Titans, who are one of the worst teams in the league, Tyler Shuck will be the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And the last week of the season, Teteroa McMillan's playing the Buccaneers defense, and we're playing Atlanta's defense. You know how quick the narrative will be if Tyler Shuck wins Offensive Rookie of the Year? Even if he doesn't. The fact that Tyler Shuck was able to come here since week 8, because week 8 is when that wasn't his first start, but that was the Tampa Bay game. That's when he finally got settled in. Imagine how quick the narrative will be if he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year in just half a season. Crazy. He's definitely going to be in the running, at least. Currently, these are the top 10 odds according to this. They got Teteroa McMillan at 1 at -200. Then they got Tyler Shuck at +350. Then they got TreVeyon Henderson, who was originally the favorite, but he didn't play last night. Or no, I think he did, but I think got hurt. So, yeah, TreVeyon Henderson at plus 1,300. Then you got Emeka Egbuka at plus 1,300. And then you got Jackson Dart at plus 1,800. And then it's Tyler Warren at plus 400. Then it's Harold Fannin Jr. at plus 4,000. Then it's R.J. Harvey at plus 4,500. Then it's Ashton Genty at plus plus 10,000. And then it's Cam Ward at plus 20,000. So, yeah. Remember when everybody was saying, man, why does Saints not draft Jackson Dart? Remember when they were saying that Jackson Dart was the best quarterback in this class?
And looks like Tyler Shuck's going to have more wins than any of the quarterbacks in the rookie class.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's good, Jerry? Victory Monday? Yes, it is. 3 in a row? Yes, it is. We're currently talking about the Offensive Rookie of the Year race. Like I was saying, look, Tyler Shuck, there's some flaws. Like, even yesterday, there were some passes that he tried to get to Olave where it was either underthrown or overthrown. Like, I'm not saying Tyler Shuck's this perfect player. However, the fact that he was able to come in with a worse situation, according to everybody, and to be fair, they had a point, worse situation than Jackson Dart, than Cam Ward. This is what everybody else is saying. How the Saints are going to be the worst team in the league. And Tyler Shuck wasn't even the week 1 starter. Cam Ward had an 8-game advantage. Jackson Dart, I think, had a 4-game advantage? Shuck, I think he was the last rookie quarterback to start. And yet, look at where he is now. So,
yeah, you're right.
Like, everybody's saying how Jackson Dart is the best quarterback in this class. Look, I don't know if you saw yesterday, Jackson Dart had 2 passing yards in the first half against Minnesota.
2?
2 of them. 1, 2. I have more fingers on both hands. I have more fingers on one hand than he had passing yards. 2 of them. 1, 2.
I
think he had 32.
I have more fingers up right now than Jackson Dart had passing the ball in the first half.
Yeah, I think he had 33 yards going into the fourth quarter. Yes, Jackson Dart had his moments this season, and I'm not debating that. But Tyler Shuck, no doubt about it. I am putting my foot down. Tyler Shuck is the best quarterback in this class. I understand it's just 1 year. Next year, everything could be different. I'm not saying Cam Ward is going to bust. I'm not saying Dart's terrible right now. But currently, from what my eyes have seen and what the numbers have shown, Tyler Shuck has been playing lights out, way better than any of the quarterbacks. I mean, Tyler Shuck is second, and the next quarterback to him is Jackson Dart, who's 5th in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. Or odds, or what. I don't know how they do it, but yeah. So, anyways. But yeah, I just wanted to see where the Offensive Rookie of the Year odds are looking. But also another thing, if Tyler Shuck wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, that's going to attract free agents. People are going to want to play for you. Just like, for example, last season when Jane Daniels won Offensive Rookie of the Year, Von Miller wanted to go to Washington. Deebo Samuel wanted to go to Washington. A lot of players wanted to go to Washington. Now, Washington's not doing so great right now. But at that time, everybody, Tom Brady, when he started tearing it up with the Patriots, Randy Moss wanted to go play there. Darrelle Revis ended up going later down his career to get a ring. Gronk ended up going back to Brady in Tampa Bay. When you have good quarterback play, more talent's going to come. But now let's talk about this running game. Taysom Hill, 12 carries for 42 yards, 3.5 yards a carry, as long as it was an 8-yard game where he ended up fumbling the ball, but all's forgiven. Audric Estime, 5 carries for 19 yards, 3.8 yards per carry, as long as it was a 5-yard gain. Mason Tipton had 1 carry for 12 yards a carry, and as long as it was a 12-yard gain. Tyler Shuck, 2 carries for 8 yards, 4 yards to carry as long as it was a 4-yard gain. And Evan Hull had 5 carries for 3 yards, 0.6 yards per carry as long as it was a 3-yard gain. So how do you feel about this run game yesterday?
Yeah, we really didn't do a whole lot yesterday. I mean, this running game really needs to improve going into the offseason, especially up front, especially in the middle of the offensive line where we still was getting beat like a drum yesterday at times. Cesar Ruiz was out. Some would say, good thing he was out. But, it's another chance to get to look at some other players and really wasn't impressed. So that's definitely a position we have to address in the offseason is offensive guard. And hope we get our center back. And that's all we can do is hope. But, we didn't really try to run the ball yesterday. I mean, Tyler Shuck was cooking. In the offensive, passing game was cooking. So they cooked, 50 times yesterday. So, Devin Neal was out. Alvin Kamara was out. So we didn't really get a good chance to run the ball yesterday.
Connor says Dimunosi.
Yes, you're right, Connor. How's the weather over there?
Yeah. Yeah, look, there were some lone bright spots in this running game. Audrey Estime, I feel like it's a hard runner. I definitely want to see what we can do with him next season. But that's, Kamara, honestly, I think we've probably seen the last of Kamara. I think he's probably going to hang it up after this season, too. I mean, injuries are piling up. He's just not that valuable anymore. I think if I was Kamara, I would probably call it quits. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, that's probably the last I'll Taysom in the dome, and I'm so glad that his last game was in those gold uniforms, because them uniforms are fire.
They tight.
Yeah, and Taysom Hill is the only player right now in Super Bowl in the Super Bowl era to have 1,000 career passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards, and 1,000 receiving yards. Nobody else has done that. He's gonna be in the Hall of Fame one day, whether you like it or not. Connor says, "Oh, the weather, your is good. How about there?" Okay. The weather here is fine. It's New Orleans weather, so yeah. Now, let's talk about this receiving game, because some of these guys popped off. Starting with Chris Olave. This is probably his best game of his entire career up to this part. As Chris Olave had 10 receptions for 148 yards. 14.8 yards a reception. Had 2 touchdowns. Longest reception was a 38-yard gain and had 16 targets. Juwan Johnson, 8 receptions for 89 yards, 11.1 yards a catch. His longest reception was a 31-yard gain and had 9 targets. Taysom Hill, 4 receptions for 36 yards, 9 yards a catch. Longest reception was a 17-yard gain and had 6 targets. Mason Tipton got in on some of the action. Had 4 receptions for 29 yards, 7.2 yards a catch. Longest reception was a 12-yard gain and had 5 targets. Kevin Austin Jr., 2 receptions for 18 yards, 9 yards a catch. Longest reception was a 15-yard gain and had 3 targets. Audric Estime, 3 receptions for 17 yards, 5.7 yards a catch. Longest reception being a 12-yard gain, had 4 targets. Foster Moreau, 1 reception for 5 yards, 5 yards a catch. Longest reception, 5-yard gain, and had 1 target. Jack Stoll had 1 reception for 4 yards, 4 yards a catch. Longest reception was a 4-yard gain and had 2 targets. And Dante Pettis had 1 target, but he didn't do nothing. So, Connor says, "My name's New Orleans." Did you see my comment? Well, I just read your comment, so yeah, okay. All right. How do you feel about the receivers today?
Well, last week we were talking about Olave and Juwan Johnson is going to have to beat them dudes because of the injuries and just the lack of production other places. And they were them dudes with 10 catches and 8 catches. And then look at how Tyler Shuck and the offense spread the ball around. I mean, all 4 tight ends, if you consider Taysom Hill a tight end, all 4 tight ends got in the action and caught at least one pass. So that's what you're really gonna have to do. You're gonna have to have those top two dudes have a lot of production, and you're gonna have to spread the ball around to everybody. I mean, everybody got to get in on the action when it's next man up. You got some men down, people need to step up, and that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Connor says, I mean, Jack Smith had a great day carrying the football. I don't know who Jack Smith is, but I'm sure he did well.
I don't even know who Jack Smith is. I'm sure he's a great person.
Yeah. These receivers, yeah, I mean, look. Chris Olave, look, going into the game, we knew Chris Olave was going to have to step up because you're missing Devon Vele, So Chris Olave had to be the man, and he was more than the man. He was the man with the plan, who's a better receiver than your man because this man went off. I mean, if Taysom Hill does not fumble the ball in the second play of the game, and we are continuing to drive, Chris Olave might have finished with like 15 catches for 200 yards because they were feeding him. Like, Chris Olave, I mean, keep playing like that, and you're going to get the contract that you want and at this point deserve. Look, I was skeptical about you early in the season, but, the past couple of games, you've been showing up. Now, if you can do that as a consistent basis, we'll be straight. And even Juwan Johnson, I don't really see him dropping too many passes like that no more. I don't know. Maybe the guys just hated Spencer Rattler or something. I don't know. Like, these guys, they were doing nothing when Rattler was the quarterback. And now Tyler Shuck's the quarterback, and now they're catching everything. So it's crazy. But yeah. Now let's talk about the stars of the day. Like, don't get me wrong, this was a team effort. Like, this is probably the most teamist win of all because the offense did great, defense did great, special teams did great. But these defensive players, man. Alontae Taylor, 5 tackles, 2 assists, and 1 sack. And now Alontae Taylor has the record for the most sacks by a Saints cornerback in history. Cameron Jordan, 4 tackles and 2 sacks. And those 2 sacks, I don't know if you know, were back-to-back sacks at the end of the first half. So that's how we sent him off in the dome, if that was his last game, which I do believe it was. Connor says stars of the day was James Cook, Cam Ward, and Aaron Rodgers for their games. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Justin Reed had 3 tackles, 6 assists. Demario Davis, 2 tackles, 6 assists. Nathan Shepard had 2 tackles, 1 assist, 1 sack, and a forced fumble. Devon Godchaux made 2 tackles. Danny Studsman made 2 tackles and 3 assists. Quincy Riley, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Isaiah Stallberg, 1 tackle and 1 sack. Jonah Williams made 1 tackle and 1 sack. John Ridgeway III had 1 tackle for 3 assists. Chris Rumph II, 1 tackle, 1 assist, and a sack. Carl Granderson, 1 tackle, 2 assists. Jonas Anker, 1 tackle, 4 assists, and 1 interception. Chase Young, 1 tackle, 1 assist, 1 sack, and a fumble recovery. Pete Werner, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Jonathan Bullard had 1 assist. Brian Brzee, 1 assist. Brian Brzee got injured at some point in the fourth quarter, which wasn't great, but hopefully he'll be better for next season. Jalen Ford had 2 assists. So how do you feel the defense did as a whole yesterday?
Defense as a whole probably had our strongest game of the year as far as every level. For defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary. I mean, all levels made plays yesterday. Sacking the quarterback, taking the ball away. So really like Staley's defensive effort yesterday. I like the game plan, and we executed it and made some plays. Who that?
Yeah, the defense. I mean, 8 sacks. You don't get 8 sacks by accident. It was crazy. Like, I mean, they didn't allow a single touchdown. Like, there was not a single part in the game where I'm like, I don't think there was one play where I'm like, dang it, defense. Like, there was a couple, breakdowns. But other than that, I mean, the Jets really couldn't do nothing. And we knew going into the game, if the Saints were going to win, defense had to be alive, and that's what they were. They were more than that yesterday. I mean, Jonas Sanker, can we officially say it? The Saints won the Marshawn Lattimore trade. Can we say that now?
Saints won the Marshawn Lattimore trade. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, hold on. Because I was thinking about that. Yeah. Saints Stadium is called No's Place. I mean, yeah. It's a place in New Orleans, so yeah. Let's look back at the Marshawn Lattimore trade, because look at the guys that we got from this trade. It might surprise some of y'all. Maybe Mickey Loomis, and I even said it when they made this trade, that I think Mickey Loomis knew what he did with this trade. We gotta give credit where credit is due. So the Saints hold on, I could just probably see from the draft. Saints. Alright. So the Saints got Jonas Sanker from the Lattimore trade. Quincy Riley from the Lattimore trade. And they even, I think that might have been it. Hold up. Let me see if that was it. So they also got Devin Neal from the Lattimore trade. Ain't that crazy? Three of the young players that the Saints got right now were from the Marshawn Lattimore trade. So I think, and Marshawn Lattimore, he played solid for Washington, but he's not playing up to Jonas Sanker. He's not playing up to Quincy Riley. Quincy Riley's been balling. Jonas Sanker's been balling. Devin Neal, when he was playing, was balling. So I think we officially won the Marshawn Lattimore trade. I think the debate's over. Now let's talk about the special teams unit. Dante Pettis had 2 kick returns for 44 yards, 22 yards return, as long as the return was a 25-yard return. Dante Pettis also had 2 punt returns for 10 yards, 5 yards return, as long as the punt return was a 10-yard punt return. Charlie Smythe, man, was 5 for 6, 83.3%, as long as field goal was a 50-yarder. He was 2 for 2 on extra points and had 17 of the points. And Kai Kroger, 1 punt for 46 yards a punt, and as long as it was a 46-yard punt. Man, we only punted the ball 1 time yesterday. Ain't that crazy? How do you feel about the special teams yesterday?
Special teams were tight because of that young Irish boy, 5 or 6 field goals, and if it wasn't for that 61-yarder, I mean, they hurt my boy's percentage by running them out there for some 61-yard kick. But he's showing that we definitely got the right kicker in house now going forward. So feel good about that.
Charlie Smith, yeah. I mean, I just want to know why we didn't pull the plug on Groupie earlier in the season, man. But yeah, I'll take it. Let's look at the Jets now. So Brady Cook was 22 for 35, 188 yards, 1 interception, was sacked 8 times, and had a quarterback rating of 64.9. How do you feel Brady Cook did yesterday against the Saints defense?
Brady Cook, somebody has to keep reminding them, this ain't Missouri anymore, boy. This ain't Missouri. This ain't the SEC. Even though the SEC is great, it's not the NFL. Brady Cook did all right. I mean, he did what he had to do. They're kind of a reflection of the Saints, meaning got a young quarterback, not a whole lot of weapons around him. I mean, he may have less weapons than the Saints have, actually. So I kind of feel bad for Mr. Cook. But, 22, 20, 35, that's nothing to sneeze at. He was able to get some completions, but did turn the ball over 1 time. That's not too good, Mr. Cook.
Man, Kai the Great in the building. What's good, Kai? Says nephew Mike and brother Juan. What's good, fellas? Merry St. Miss to y'all. Merry St. Miss, man. We're on this Victory Monday. We're shucking it up here on the live podcast. Just talking about the Saints dominating, winning. Hey, I said last week I want to win dominant football games, and that was a dominant game Saints won. And like I said this yesterday. If y'all want to say it's just the Jets, be my guest. But I'm just saying this right now. I don't care if it's the Jets. I don't care if it's the Titans. I don't care if we're playing up against some senior citizens over there in freaking Kentucky. If the Saints get a win, I don't care who it is. I don't care who we gotta beat.
Shuck it, man. Shuck it.
And I don't care whose feelings we hurt. Man, I don't care if we're playing. I don't care if we're playing up against a bunch of seagulls from Alaska. I don't care who we playing. If Saints win a game, I don't care if it's the Jets. I don't care if it's the Jets, Titans, Atlanta. The rest of our 3 games, they can shuck it.
But Mikey, it's hurting our draft position.
I don't care about no draft position.
Shuck that draft position, man. Shuck it.
Man, I don't care if they paid the Saints $1 million to lose every game. I don't care if that's the case. Man, we winners. We got the win, man. I don't care if we have the 8th pick, the 12th pick, the 82nd pick. I don't care what pick we got.
Get the win, Mikey. Get the win.
Yeah. Winning in the NFL is hard. That's why you never apologize for how you win, Denzel. That's why you never apologize for how you get wins. So when people want to root for tanking, that's cool and all. But first of all, who are you tanking for? Second of all, we've seen a bunch of teams. I mean, the Jets, they've been tanking for almost 20 years.
I'm taking for Jeremiah Love.
I mean, if the Saints, honestly, if the Saints have a high enough pick, I think Jeremiah Love's probably the pick at this point. Because, I mean, you don't really, I mean, maybe another receiver, but it's you could maybe even sign one for, I don't know. The offseason is still a few weeks away, and we'll just have to see. I mean, free agency starts in March, and we're only in December, so we only got a couple months. Man, I can't wait till the offseason, man. Usually, when the offseason comes, man, we ain't got no more football. But nah, honestly, I'm excited for this offseason because then we get to build, or we get to build around Shuck. Bro, you know what would be beautiful? If on awards night, because you know how the NFL has the NFL honors, Tyler Shuck has his Offensive Rookie of the Year speech, and then later in the NFL honors, you see Drew Brees going up there for the Hall of Fame, man. That would just this season. The record may say otherwise, but this has been a good season, especially if that's the outcome of the season. But yeah. Anyway, back to the Saints game. Yeah, Brady Cook. Yeah. I even said it when he was at Missouri. I don't think he's that good. So I mean, it's not a shocker that we suffocated Brady Cook. That's not a shocker to me. Let's talk about the Jets running game. Breece Hall, 16 carries for 54 yards, 3.4 yards a carry as long as it was a 7-yard gain. And then they had Isaiah Davis running for 3 carries for 8 yards, 2.7 a carry as long as it was a 5-yard gain. And Brady Cook had 1 carry for 2 yards, 2 yards a carry as long as it was a 2-yard gain. So, how do you feel about the Jets' run game against our front 7 or front 4, whatever it was?
Looks like we shut them down pretty good. They didn't really commit to the run all that much, only 20 carries. Anytime you can hold a team under 100 yards, you're doing good. We held them to 64 yards. So, I mean, we whipped some. We shucked it yesterday. We shucked their running game.
Yeah, I mean, I could just start and end it with this. The Jets just couldn't run the ball. So it's man. I mean, the linebacking group, amazing. It's crazy. The No Chop podcast said our defense put on a championship performance. Yeah, and also I don't know if you were here, but earlier in the show we were talking about the Marshall Lattimore trade. I think it's official. The Saints won the Lattimore trade. I don't care what nobody says. Look at some of the guys on our defense: Jonas Sanker and Quincy Riley. 2 of the biggest bright spots of our defense came from that Lattimore trade. So look, I understand Mickey Loomis does not do good at his job. I know he's not that good at his job. I know that. But we can at least say with that Lattimore trade, he knew what he was doing. And I mean, hey, I even said it in your live earlier. Go subscribe to my boy if you haven't already. Like what you doing if you're not subscribing to the No Chop podcast? Like what you doing with your life? But anyways, Mickey Loomis, if he can successfully build around Chuck, he will build up his reputation. I will make my praise to him as loud as my disrespect has been.
I can't praise him too much. I mean, even at his job, Mikey, every now and then you do get lucky. I mean, you do hit on a draft pick. I mean, it's not anything he's doing. I mean, he's listening to his advisors, his scouts, his director of player personnel. It's not all him, so I'm not gonna give him too much praise.
I understand that, but like, if Mickey Loomis helps with and this goes to the entire front office. If the entire front office can build around Chuck, they all deserve credit. From Mickey Loomis to Jeff Ireland to the janitor staff, like everybody in the building gets the credit. Like even Mickey Loomis is like that kid, and like you know how well obviously you're not in school obviously, but like you know how in school it'd be like you have like this one kid just copying off the answers and he gets an A+ for the test. Well, hey, you got the A+ somehow. Even if you're just taking off from somebody. But yeah. Jets run game, they're gonna do nothing, and yeah. Appreciate you. Now let's talk about the Jets receivers. They did not have Garrett Wilson yesterday, but even if they did, I don't know if it made a difference. The receivers, Isaiah Davis, 4 receptions for 52 yards, 13 yards of reception. His longest reception was a 25-yard gain and had 4 targets. Adonai Mitchell, the dude that had over 100 yards against Atlanta, by the way. Adonai Mitchell, 3 receptions for 43 yards, 14.3 yards of reception. Longest reception was a 26-yard gain, had 6 targets. Stone Smarts, what a name. 5 receptions for 34 yards, 6.8 yards of reception. Longest reception was a 17-yard gain, had 5 targets. Isaiah Williams had 4 catches for 25 yards, 6.2 yards a catch, longest reception being a 12-yard gain, and had 4 targets. Jeremy Ruckert, who just got extended last week by the Jets, he didn't do much as he had 2 receptions for 14 yards, 7 yards a catch, longest reception was a 10-yard gain, had 3 targets. Breece Hall, 2 receptions for 9 yards, 4.5 yards a catch, longest reception being a 10-yard gain, had 3 targets. Tyler Johnson, 1 reception for 7 yards, 7 yards a catch. Longest reception being a 7-yard gain, had 1 target. John Mechie III, 1 reception for 4 yards, 4 yards a catch. Longest reception being a 4-yard gain, and had 5 targets. And Arian Smith had 1 target and didn't do much. So how do you feel about these Jets receivers yesterday against the Saints secondary, linebackers, whatever?
I mean, none of these receivers really scare you, and these numbers are, not very scary. It was held in check by Brandon Staley's defense, and so yeah, nothing really to talk about here, Mikey. I mean, everybody got a catch here, a catch there. I mean, they spread the wealth a little bit. I mean, they had to because there's no really one guy that you're gonna be like, okay, that's the Chris Olave. We got to feed him. There's no beast here to feed. So just an ad game by them.
Yeah, I mean, like these Jets I thought the Saints had a bad receiving room, but then I watched this game and I'm like, it could be worse.
For real.
Like, I mean, I understand you didn't have no Garrett Wilson, but even if you did have Garrett Wilson, what does it matter? Their leading receiver is a freaking running back, bruh. It's like their number 1 receiver was supposed to be Adonai Mitchell, and he came up with 43 yards. It's like, I'll take the bye week. But yeah, now talk about this Jets defense. Jamian Sherwood, 7 tackles, 4 assists, 1 sack. Quincy Williams, 6 tackles and 5 assists. Malachi Moore, 5 tackles, 3 assists, and 1 forced fumble. Quantez Stiggers, 3 tackles, 2 assists, and 1 fumble recovery. Dean Clark, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Will McDonald IV, 3 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 sack. Jordan Clark, man, how much Clarks do y'all have? Jordan Clark, 3 tackles, 2 assists. Michael Walker, 2 tackles, 5 assists. Brandon Stevens, 1 tackle, 4 assists. Colin Saunders, former Saint, by the way, who I even forgot was even in the league, had 1 tackle, 2 assists. Jawan Briggs, 1 tackle, 1 sack. Braden McGregor had 1 tackle, 1 assist. Jermaine Johnson, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Kobe King, 1 tackle. Harrison Phillips had 1 tackle, 4 assists. Jay Tufele, 1 assist. And that's it. So, how do you feel about the Jets' defense yesterday? The Swiss cheese unit.
Well, I mean, we couldn't run too much on them. I mean, I'll give them that. I don't know if that was, great defense by them or just bad offensive line and running play by us, to be determined. But other than that, they couldn't stop a Cole as far as the passing game goes. We really ate them up all day long. So I wouldn't be too happy if I was in that Jets defensive meeting room this week.
Yeah, I mean, Jets defense, it's like the Jets hired Aaron Glenn to be their head coach, right? That I will victory lap. I understand it hasn't been the best season, but I'm a victory lap right now. When everybody said, let's hire Aaron Glenn, I want Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn's the man. Man, if you don't hire Aaron Glenn, I'm done watching football. Mickey Loomis, you better keep Aaron Glenn here, Aaron Glenn. And I told every single one of you, since before the Eagles won the Super Bowl, when their coordinator was Kellen Moore, I said the guy I want is Kellen freaking Moore.
You said that. I remember that.
And a lot of people said, well, Kellen Moore, can he lead guys? Can he be a locker room guy? I don't know if you saw the video of the Saints post-game locker room, but Kellen Moore's a guy that the Saints want to play for, play with. Like, you couldn't tell me that this team was a 5-win team off of those vibes in the locker room. No. I understand the season has not gone the way we wanted. I understand Kellen Moore's made some mistakes on the job. But he's learning as every week goes along. And the guy that everybody so desperately wanted, Aaron Glenn, the top of the charts, the king of New Orleans, bring him home. Well, I don't know. He looked depressed on that sideline. Like, he looked like he hated life and everything that comes with it. And the Jets defense, he's supposed to be this defensive mastermind. Well, they got murdered by Kellen Moore's offense. Like, in the first half, they were doing a little something. It was like a field goal kicking contest. But they had no second half adjustments. And that's another thing the Saints did. They made second half adjustments. So, yeah. And Dad, I remember you were the ones that was saying, I don't know about this Kellen Moore guy. So, and then we hired him. And then you're like, Kellen Moore.
Who did I want? I can't even remember. Did I say I wanted somebody?
I think you. I don't remember, but I know you said Kellen Moore's gonna be like a scapegoat if we hire him or something. I don't know. You said something about Kellen Moore. Didn't you say that you wanted like a Mike McCarthy or something? I don't know.
No.
I think I think Aaron Glenn is the guy you wanted.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you wanted somebody that was not Kellen Moore. I remember one time you even made it on your name tag that no Kellen Moore would have. So.
I can't even remember who was the candidates now. Offhand.
We had Cliff Kingsbury. We had what's his name? Joe Brady. Aaron Glenn, obviously. Mike McCarthy.
I think I was all right with Joe Brady. I probably would have been all right with Kingsbury. And I'm thinking about it. But no McCarthy. No Mike McCarthy. No.
Yeah, I just remember you did not want Kellen Moore. That's all I remember. But yeah, Kai said Kellen Moore was the right hire. Yes, he was. And I was trying to tell these people. I was trying to tell them. Listen to the prophecy. The prophecy states Kellen Moore the hire. Aaron Glenn's Jets are on fire.
The one thing I want to talk about more than your prophecy is the Jets special teams unit. All right. Can we please move on to the special teams units?
Okay. Yeah, let's move on. All right. Keenan Wangu, former Saint, by the way. One kick return for 34 yards, 34 yards return, as long as the return was a 34 yards return. Good for him. Isaiah Williams even had a solid return, as he had one return for 42 yards return, and as long as the return was a 42-yard game. And kicking the ball, Nick Folk, the oldest player of all time. The man's like a 40-year-old kicker, but that's normal for kickers. Nick Folk, 2 for 2, 100%. Longs with 36 yards and scored 6 points. And Austin McNamara, punting the ball, had 5 punts for 231 yards, 46.2 yards a punt, 3 inside the 20. And his longest punt was a 55-yard. Boom! Not really. So how do you feel about the Jets special teams unit that you so desperately want to talk about?
How about that McNamara, boy? 3 times inside the 20-yard line. That's important. Field position. A lot of people have not been valuing field position lately. And McNamara, he's a weapon. And he did it 3 times yesterday. Woo, sure. His mama's proud.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Folk, I think, has the record for, most consecutive field goals from, 50 yards. I don't know, but, yeah, I mean, Nick Folk, bro, I was playing Madden earlier, right? And I was trying to make a trade with somebody, and I was looking through the rosters, right, and the Jets were up there. Their best player was Nick Folk, and I'm like, huh? Their best overall player was Nick Folk at 88 overall, and I'm like, I didn't know the Jets were that down bad.
Bad.
And that was after the Madden recent updates. So they're telling me that Nick Folk is a better player on the Jets than Breece Hall, than Garrett Wilson, than Quincy Williams, than all those guys. I just found that so hilarious. At least they can kick the ball. I mean, yeah, the only reason the Jets got points yesterday is because they were kicking that ball. Take away the field goals and they got nothing. Right. So now let's talk about the team stats. Saints, 412 total yards, 328 offensive, 84 rush, or not offensive, obviously it's offensive, you stupid Mikey. 328 passing, 84 rushing, averaged 5.3 yards per play. Saints picked up 23 first downs. We were 8 for 17 on third downs, which is now mind-boggling that we failed a third down. We failed third downs 9 times, and we only punted the ball 1 time. That's crazy to me. But yeah, the Saints, we were 1 for 2 on fourth down, so that's plus the field goals. Saints ran 78 total plays, allowed 3 sacks, punted the ball 1 time, like I mentioned, had 3 penalties for 30 yards. Pretty disciplined game by the Saints. We lost 1 fumble, but we had the ball for 31 minutes and 18 seconds. We made 32 tackles, 5 for 6 on field goals. We were still 0 for 3 in the red zone. Fix that. And on the Jets side of things, they had 195 yards, means we out-yarded them by over 200. That's crazy. Jets had 131 passing yards, 64 rushing yards. They averaged 3.1 yards per play. Jets had 12 first downs, 2 for 15 on third downs, 2 for 4 on fourth downs. They ran 63 total plays, allowed 8 sacks, punted the ball 5 times. They committed 7 penalties for 54 yards. They lost a fumble. They threw an interception. Jets had the ball for 28 minutes and 42 seconds. They made 39 tackles. They were 2 for 2 on field goals, and they were also 0 for 2 in the red zone. We were 0 for 3, so no one could score in the red zone yesterday. So how you feel about what? Do you have any final thoughts on anything?
The third down efficiency, especially Brandon Staley's defense, 2 for 15. That is getting it done defensively, buddy.
Yeah, look. The Saints had more first downs than the Jets had third down attempts. was just great. It was just a great game by the Saints. They had a great game plan. They adjusted. They made sure Taysom Hill will basically have his coming out party. Cam Jordan had his family at the game. That's basically a sign that he's done. I could see if the Saints win out, win the rest of the games, and Cam Jordan sees how much fun the guys are having, he might stick around for another year. But we'll just have to see about that. I mean, 8 sacks, bro. 8 sacks is 8 sacks. You can't really ask for much more from the defensive line. Chase Young, that was another thing. A lot of people said Chase Young, why you signing Chase Young to that deal? And I told everybody that was a good signing, and Chase Young's proven it. Chase Young, he's always there in a critical moment. He's always there sacking the quarterback. He, I think, missed 5 or 6 games. And he's coming back, and he came back like he never left. So, if you have Chase Young the first few games, who knows what this team's record is right now. So, yeah, and also, man, Danny Stutzman, his nickname is Danny Studsman. I don't care what nobody say. But yeah, so Dad, do you have anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, you know what? Hold on. I'm just going to do this for the draft watchers. This is strictly for the draft watchers that are still saying tank, even though tanking is probably an afterthought right now. Hold up. All right, much love to you, Kai, and later, Connor. So the Jets have the 4th pick after this game, and the Saints have the 8th pick. So yeah, so the Saints getting the 1st overall pick is eliminated already. It's not like I want them to tank, but some people might have wanted them to tank. But now, if you are a tank rooter, now there's no point in rooting for the tank because you can't get the 1st or the 2nd or the 3rd pick. So you're probably not getting a top 5 pick. If you're a Saints fan, there should be no reason to root for the tanking. Oh, wow. Guess who has the 11th pick, Dad?
Fail camps?
The Rams, sorry.
Oh, that's true.
They traded it, yep.
Yeah, babe.
Yep. Atlanta, man, they're doing all this sucking for no reason. They can't even tank. What, you trying to get the best 2nd round pick you can? Nah. Anyway, shout out to Connor, shout out to Jerry, and shout out to Kai for popping in the chat. Dad, where can they find you?
Mic'd Up YouTube channel and on Hurricane Mike Show every week.
You can always find me at Hurricane Mike, Kyle Phelps, and Keeping It Real Who That Sports Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, turn the bell on so you don't miss another upload. And Dad, we're going to leave them as always. The Who Dat. And don't be a what?
Don't be a fail camp fan because y'all can't win 3 in a row.
No, they can't even win. They can't.